Hi everyone, this is the Billiards Doctor here. So today I'm going to talk to you about the tangent line system. The tangent line system is basically the direction that the cue ball is going to go after you make contact with the object ball. So after you make the 5 ball, what direction is the cue ball going to go in? And you can predict that based on the tangent line system. So what it is if we have 7 ball right here, and we want to make that in the pocket, and we want to figure out where the cue ball is going to travel after it makes the 7 ball, what we can do is we can imagine a ghost ball. Ghost ball is where you want to hit on the 7 ball such that the 7 ball is going to go in the middle of the pocket. So if we had a ghost ball, we're going to put that right here. So that's the cue ball has to hit where the ghost ball is in order for the 7 ball to go right in the pocket. And what you do with the tangent line system is you look at the point of contact of the ghost ball and the object ball and you draw a tangent line. You draw the line right in between the balls, and we see it's going to be right to here, that piece of chalk. Okay? We can move the ghost ball. So what happens is, if you hit this with a little bit of a stun shot, right? So we talked earlier, a stun shot means you hit just below the center of the ball, no right or left English, just below the center of the ball, such that the cue ball is spinning backwards a little bit when it hits the object ball. It's not going to draw. You're not doing a draw shot. You don't want it to hit the 7 and draw backwards. You just want to hit it and stun. If you do this with a stun shot, it should hit this piece of chalk here. So let's try that. There you go. See, perfect. Hit the piece of chalk. Okay? Now, if we did that same shot with topspin, what you're going to realize is that the topspin is now going to take the tangent line and you're going to shift it closer to us. So if the tangent line on this ball is here, right, topspin is going to shift it closer, so maybe around there, depending on how much topspin I use. If I do topspin, see, it hit closer. Now, if I were to do backspin, it's going to go further. So when I do backspin on this shot, right, tangent line is going to put it here. Draw should put it even further out. See, draw hit it over here. Okay, so as you can see, based on how much topspin or backspin you use or stun shot you use, you're able to control the path of the cue ball, whether you hit, at that point, or that point. And this is really big. This is really important, especially, in a game of 8-ball. I can't imagine how many times you're playing 8-ball and you want to try to, let's say your stripes here, and you want to break open the pack, right? What position do you need to hit on the cue ball to make this object ball and break open the pack, right? Draw into the pack, right? There's the cue ball. Look here, we draw, this is the ghost ball. We look at the tangent line. Tangent line is right here, okay? So now we got to think, okay, how do we want to hit this, right? How do we want to hit this? If we hit it with stun, just below center, we're going to hit the 10 ball in, and the cue ball is going to hit this point here, in which case it's probably going to hit the 8 ball out that way. That's pretty good. I like that. If I did topspin, then I would hit here and it would shoot out flat. We don't want that, right? We want to at least hit with backspin or stun. So I'm going to hit this with a little bit of, maybe just a hair of backspin. Just a hair of backspin. There you go. 8 balls free. Now you can win the game. 8 ball in the far corner, game over. So that's really important, that tangent line system. And I once time had a billiards coach tell me that you can be an amazing pool player without using any side spin, with only using the tangent line system. Just using draw, stun, and topspin, and that's going to be able to tell you leave the cue ball wherever you want. And a really, really nice shot for this, you've seen professionals do this before, where they're relatively straight on the object ball. They're pretty straight. Like this is pretty straight right here. And let's say that you want to make the 8 ball next. Let's say you can't roll forward for some reason. Let's say this stripe is in the way. You can't roll forward. So you have to go back here. and you're like, you're pretty straight here. What you can do is you can sheet the 6 ball. Sheet the 6 ball in the left side of the pocket here, in the left edge. When you cheat the 6 ball on the left edge, you're creating a tiny little angle. An angle where if you use draw, it's going to bring you flat. You don't want that. So what you want to do is you want to use stun, so that when you hit this, you go directly on the tangent line. Do you guys see that? So you want to go directly on the tangent line. So if we do stun, put the ball here, we're going to aim on the left side of the pocket. We're going to use our tangent line. It should come here, okay? So if I do this right, I should be able to do stun and do this. Now, I'm going to remind you that the less angle you have, so this is a pretty straight shot in the 6, so I have very little angle. The less angle you have, the harder you have to hit the cue ball in order to get the same distance, right? If you have a huge angle, if the cue ball is down here and you're going for the 6, you don't have to hit it hard and the cue ball is going to follow in the tangent line. But if you're relatively straight and you need to get over here, you need to hit this pretty hard with stun, just below center. And this is a pretty tricky shot because a lot of people will hit it with too much backspin, right? If you hit below center just a hair and you hit it with a lot, and you hit it really hard, you're going to generate a lot of backspin sometimes, and that's going to put the ball here. It's going to come out. So you don't want that. You want to get it down here. So this is kind of a skill shot here. It's kind of a stun punch shot, they call it. It's called a punch shot where you kind of punch it in. Punch it in. So I'm going just a little bit below center, aiming in the left side of the pocket. And I'm going to hit this. I'm going to go on the tangent line. Just like that. Came right on the tangent line, and all of a sudden, game over, right? So that's something where if we did that with draw, that wouldn't have worked for us. So we're here, right? When you do draw, that's going to bring us way back. We didn't want that. So you got to cheat the pocket, do a little bit of stun, and that'll make it work. Go right on the tangent line. So you can be very, very precise on how you go through that tangent line. And it's really fun. I mean, I can't tell you how many times you have a lot of shots where it's like this, right? You know, you want to make, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but you want to make the 6 ball, you want to stun over for the 8, you want to get to the 8. And it's something where maybe you can't do a lot of draw, there's a ball in the way. So you can kind of punch it in, you can just do a little bit below center, and see how it went right on the tangent line there. I hit it pretty hard, but the cue ball went slow because it was so straight. And then you can make the 8 ball, like that. So that's the tangent line system. That's like super important. And to be honest, you may be doing this system without even thinking about it, but understanding how it's working will allow you to apply exactly what you've learned instead of just kind of going off of feel. You can kind of say, oh, it's going to go this direction, you can predict. And this is a very important shot for breaking up balls, like breaking up clusters, where you want to be very precise on where the cue ball goes after you make contact. So this is a Billiards Doctor. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.